Welcome to America Reads Fun Learning Activities. We are college students who create learning activities for kids. Our fun activities focus on reading, writing, and math. Thank you for joining us to learn today. My name is Hannah. In today's activity, we're going to be learning how to determine the meaning of unknown and multiple meaning words and phrases based on 3rd grade reading and content. And we're going to be learning how to flexibly choose from a range of strategies to understand the meaning of words. Before we get started on our activity, we have to gather our materials. For this simple reading lesson, all you're going to need is some black and white paper, some colored paper, some markers, a Sharpie, a highlighter, and a pair of scissors. Alright, let's first talk about context clues. So, context clues are hints a reader can use to discover the meanings of unfamiliar words and phrases. Context means the setting of a word. So the word context itself is divided into the parts con and text, which both mean different things. So the part con means with, and the part text means written words. So unfamiliar words' contexts are the clue words around it. Great, now it's time for us to start our activity. So before we start our activity, what you're going to need to do is write down this text of part 1 and then part 2 on a blank sheet of paper. Great, now it's time for us to prepare the rest of our materials for our activity. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to make a magnifying glass. So take any colored piece of paper that you want, I'm choosing pink, and draw out a big magnifying glass. Next, on a separate piece of paper, you're going to draw out a couple of stars that you're also going to cut out. Great, now it's time for you to cut out your magnifying glass and cut out your stars. Perfect. So now we are ready to start our activity because we have our magnifying glass cut out, our stars cut out, and we also have a small sheet of paper down here. We're going to write down the definitions of the words right after we find them out using our context clues. So let's start with activity part number 1. Let's read the text and figure out the words as we come across them. It was time for the band to march on the field. The crowd was ecstatic. So there we go. We have our first word that we need to figure out the meaning of. But till now, the first sentence didn't give us any context. So let's keep reading on. People screamed and cheered, showing their excitement. Oh, I see. So the first thing that we need to do is we're going to take our magnifying glass and we're going to put it on the word that we're looking for, which is ecstatic. Perfect. Next, we're going to pick up our stars and use them as the little clue finders for every time that we found a word that gave us a clue. So the first word is screamed. The second word I see that as a clue is cheered. And the last word would be the word excitement. I think that's the biggest clue because that shows that our people are very excited because they screamed and they cheered. Awesome. So can you make a guess for what the word ecstatic means? I would say it means excited. Let's keep reading on. The music intensified or increased in volume. Perfect. So now we have our second word that we don't understand, and it's the word intensified. So what context clues could we use to understand what that word means? So let's put our magnifying glass on the word intensified so we know that we're looking for that word's meaning. Next, we can see that this is an example of one of the author's context clues, and it's the example of a synonym. So the word increased is also a synonym for the word intensified. So this is one of our clues. So what does the meaning of the word increase mean? That's right, intensified, because they're definitions and synonyms of each other. So when we want to know the meaning of the word intensified, we can write increased. So let's move on to the next word. It says, unlike her timid friends, Morgan was unafraid to perform in front of the roaring crowd. So the word that we want to know is timid. One of our clues is the word unlike because it says that Morgan is not like her friends, which means that Morgan is not timid. So what is the opposite of someone who's not timid? What's the opposite of someone who's not shy? Someone who was not unafraid to perform. Someone who is brave. So if Morgan was brave, then her friends were, that's right, Shy. So the meaning of the word timid is someone who's shy or afraid. Let's keep reading. After the show, the crowd gave a standing ovation. So that's the next word that we want to put our magnifying glass on. The fans stood and clapped to show their appreciation for such a great performance. Great job! Awesome. Now it's time to go on to part 2 of our activity. So we're going to read each sentence and we're going to look at the underlined words and try to find their meaning. After the heavy rain, the stream behind our house began to overflow its bank. This is a difficult word because stream and bank are related, which means that when we say bank, we're not talking about a bank full of money. We're talking about the bank of the stream. So what's a stream? Let's look at our context clues. So the word that we want to focus on is stream, and then we'll focus on bank. So the first context clue was heavy rain, and the second context clue was overflow. So that means that the stream is probably a body of water. That's right, a stream is a river. Perfect. The next word is bank. So this is a great example of a word that has more than one meaning. So a bank could be the size of a stream, or it could also mean a bank full of money. Which one do you think it is? That's right, it's the bank which are the sides of a stream. Perfect. Let's read our next sentence. During the game, he swung the bat so hard that it flew out of his hands. So what we're going to be focusing on is the word bat. And our context clues are, that's right, the word game and flew out of his hand. And also swung. So the word bat can have more than one meaning. It could mean the bat for a baseball bat, or it could also mean bat the animal. So do you think the player swung a bat during a game that flew out of his hands? Like an animal bat? That's right, no, he just swung an actual bat for baseball. So now we know the meaning of this word is not animal bat, it's the baseball bat equipment. Awesome, let's read our last sentence. The class watched in awe as a caterpillar shed its skin and transformed into a butterfly. So the first word that we want to look on is shed. Now let's look at our context clues. So the first word I see is caterpillar, the second one is butterfly, and the third one is skin. So the word shed can have more than one meaning. It could mean to take something off, to remove something, or it could also mean that little house behind your house in the backyard. So we can see that the caterpillar turned into a butterfly, which is what the word transformed means. So do you think that this word means the shed behind your house in your backyard, or does it mean shed to take a layer off to become something else? That's right, shed means to take a layer off. And what layer is the caterpillar taking off? That's right, their skin, so they can turn into a butterfly. Thank you for learning with us today. We hope you come back to learn some more. Please like and subscribe to our channel, and we will be back with more videos. I hope that today you had a great understanding of what it means to determine and clarify the meaning of unknown words and multiple meaning words and phrases within 3rd grade reading and content, choosing flexibly from a range of strategies. Thank you for watching this video. Bye!